The air in the General City Clinic smelled of antiseptic fear and faint hope. The hum of the air conditioner filled the silence, and the clock on the wall ticked loudly enough to remind everyone that waiting was part of the treatment. 3 strangers shared the room that afternoon: Morenike, Patrick, and Aisha. None of them knew each other, yet somehow they seemed to belong to the same moment in time. Morenike was from Lagos, though her accent carried more BBC than the Balogun Market. She worked hard her way into a tidy life, polished shoes and perfect grammar. She sat stiffly, clutching her handbag, her eyes fixed on the nurse's station as if sheer concentration could make a mother's name appear on a call list faster. Patrick was her opposite in every visible way, a Liverpudlian oil worker with a rough voice and a kind heart. His tattoos were fading, his hands calloused and his patience thin. He looked like someone who spent his life fixing heavy things, except that things didn't truly matter. And then there's Aisha, a Nigerian-Canadian nurse who had arrived early for the night shift but preferred to wait outside the staff lounge. She liked to listen to people talk before work began. It reminded her that beneath every medical chart was a person who wanted to be heard. Patrick sighed long and loud, as if trying to force the clock to move. Martesine, been sitting there an hour and I just couldn't move quicker if the queen broke a leg. Morenike talked softly. At least you have the NHS back home. You could wait a day just to see the thermometer. Patrick grinned. You don't look like you've got it worse, but try getting seen in a bottle of Friday. That is well operating yourself. Aisha looked up from her phone, smiling. Trust me, in Toronto, we have turned waiting into an Olympic sport. Hospitals, traffic, immigration, we queue with dignity and despair. They all laughed. The tension eased and the air grew lighter. For a brief moment, 3 corners of the world met on a neutral ground. And as they talked, stories began to spill out. Morenike spoke of a mother, a retired teacher, who had fainted the night before. Patrick mentioned his injured shoulder from the leg. Nothing serious, but a stubborn reminder that he's not 20 anymore. Aisha told him how she's once been a patient herself after collapsing from exhaustion during the first winter in Canada. Sometimes I think accents are just coats we wear, she said. Different weather, different coats, same person inside. Patrick nodded thoughtfully. That's deep. That, you sound like one of them moderated philosophers. Morenike smiled. Maybe she is, or maybe she's just saying the truth we all avoid. They grew quiet after that, each returning to private thoughts. Outside, thunder rode softly like a warning that silenced has a voice. Then the nurse appeared, calling out, "This is the Giant family." Morenike stood quickly. "Yes, that's me." "She's awake now, you can see her." Morenike exhaled, relieved, and disappeared down the corridor. The door clicked shut behind her, leaving the room slightly emptier. Patrick, of course, leaned back. "Das lady? Nah, strong." Aisha took a sip of her coffee. "We are strong until we are not. They'll pretend to be." He gave a quiet laugh. "Yeah, pretending's the only therapy some of us can afford." When midnight came, Patrick stood stretched and said he was up for a spin. Aisha stayed behind, staring at the chair where Morenike had been. Rain began to fall outside, gentle and persistent. She watched it beat against the window, then whispered to herself, "No matter where you go, you still wait for something. Healing, news, peace, maybe. Waiting is the only thing we all share." And so the clock kept ticking. The rain grew louder, and for a fleeting moment, the waiting room felt less like a place for sickness and more like a mirror, reflecting everyone who sat in silence and hoping for something better. See you next time on Code Switch.